Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kadesh. Double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles who grip this throne rule well, and to the Arkim and Aquat throughout the four corners of the earth, holding on to the testimony of the Lord Hamashiach Yahushai in sincerity and truth. This National DC camp, short lesson for the hopeful elect. Yeah, we're still in that week of the high holy day of the Passover. Alright, this is the week of unleavened bread, so always remember, you gotta stay focused, to be sober-minded and, trim the fat and purge your mind, of this leaven of this world. Whatever that's holding you back, you just have to let it go. It's gonna be a process. So, let's got a quick lesson, concerning prophecy, because the rulers of this world, they know that the power of the Lord is real, and they got their so-called scholars and historians, searching day and night, watching brothers' videos, taking notes, so that they could build up a report that they could share with the so-called elites and their, puppets. So I got to read from Isaiah chapter 46 verse 10. It says, declaring the end. Let me start from verse 9. Isaiah chapter 46 verse 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am Yahweh, and there is none like me. So the Lord stands alone. Alright, he is the top. The top above all tops. Alright. And then verse 10 says, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Yeah, so this is the work of the Lord. Things to happen according to his declaration. So it's all prophecy. Everything that you read according to prophecy has to come to pass based on the word of the Lord. So this is what the elites, are familiar with. So this article came out in 2016, January 15th. So this is talking about how the former president of the United States, the 43rd president, George W. Bush, how he made a reference to the book of Ezekiel concerning their plans to go against Iraq, Afghanistan, Gog and Magog. So it says after then President George W. Bush phoned Jacques Chirac. So it's the former head of the French government, the Prime Minister of France. I think he already passed away some years ago. His French counterpart had to consult a biblical scholar to make sense of the conversation. Alright, so it just gives you a backdrop. So it says it's early 2003 and the US-led invasion of Iraq is looming. Okay, so it says President Bush is on the phone with his French counterpart. He is trying to convince Jacques Chirac to join the coalition of the willing against Saddam Hussein, but the call is counterproductive. Alright, so always remember that any attack against America as a member of NATO, it's an attack against her allies too. It's considered that. So collective defense and all that stuff. So you just do a quick read through of Article 5 of the NATO Treaty, North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So it says this: Article 5 is the cornerstone of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization and states that an attack on one member of NATO is an attack on all its members. Alright? So remember that. And then it says this: despite its importance, NATO has only invoked Article 5 once in its history in response to the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. So you see that. So that's exactly what they did, to go into Afghanistan and Iraq and set up shop so they could get into Iran. And after they did all that, the following administration during the time of Obama, they had to go into Libya and mess it up, destabilize North Africa, those Arab countries up there, and then Greece, felt the heat too. And then you also had Syria. Alright, it was during Obama's administration that Syria had to go through those so-called protests, man, and everything began to go, sideways for that country. So it says this: one of Bush's arguments in particular rubbed Chirac the wrong way. War is inevitable, alright? According to the word of the Lord, there is no way. You got to keep going on. World War One, II has already taken place, so they got to go for 3. And the Lord is going to force them to go into World War III. Alright, so this is what Bush was saying. War is inevitable because prophecy is being fulfilled. Alright, so that's the word of the Lord. So it says Bush explicitly refers to Gog and Magog. Alright, so it says evil empires of the Old Testament. This sends a chill down the French president's spine. Is this guy for real? So that's what the elites are about, man. They have to go for war. Some of them are not ready. Some of them are ready to, tear the whole thing apart. That's why, those soldiers that got all these PTSD, they upset, man, that the government is not fulfilling the end of the bargain concerning their treatment. So it says the French president or the French prime minister orders his staff to produce a report on the Gog Magog thing. So it's vite. I believe that's quickly. Just do a Google Translate, see how that comes up. Let's do a translate. Alright, so you do from French to English and quick. Alright, so you can imagine what's going on. So that's what it says. So it says if the mightiest country on earth is going to base its crucial foreign policy decision on obscure Bible verses, he needs to know everything about it. So that's how the Most High rolls. Alright, so if you scroll down, if you could read the whole page when you want to. It's on bigtank.com. So you scroll further down. So like it. So just read the whole thing. So it says this is from the book of Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39. It says the outlines are clear though. In chapters 38 and 39, a global army is formed to fight a final battle in Israel. That battle is ordained by God in order to rid the world of his enemies and thus herald in a new age. Alright, so it says the axis of evil is composed mostly of nations to the north of Israel and led by Gog. So Amalek is doing his part, you know. So, and this is the name of the scholar that had to put a report in for the French Prime Minister. Alright, so it says just like Meshach and Tubal, also associated with the coalition and equally enigmatic. Yes, when you read Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39, it tells you what that it's all about, you know. So it says, if you read this part, you know what, let's start from here. Alright, so it says the mystery surrounding those entities is of course a license for the imagination to run wild. And then the President of the United States, former President Reagan, says a previous US president, also well versed in the Bible, identified Gog with the Soviet Union. Yep, so you can understand the sentiments of the people around the world now that's going along with this blue and yellow Kool-Aid. So it says more recent biblical literalists, the former President Bush among them, are more likely to identify God with Iran, Roma says, but that's not true. You know, Bush knows that Gog and Magog is Russia. Yeah, so it's going to be a hot soup that they're going to get themselves into. So when you read Isaiah chapter 55 verse 11, it tells you, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Okay, so it's all prophecy. You know, there is no way around it. You know, so you just gotta pay attention, man. The Lord is not gonna let things just fall by the wayside because somebody wants to have their way. That's not how the Lord operates. And besides, all this set the stage. So every so-called actor, they gotta go with the script. You know, they gotta go with prophecy. Alright, prophecy is being fulfilled, and that's very, very important. You know, even when the men of the Lord were out there in highways and byways, you won't be surprised, man, of all the words that was getting, you know, dropped in the ears of these elites concerning the apostles, you know, and the brothers on the different, you know, on the different corners preaching the gospel. The word was getting up. The word was getting up there, you know. So it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful that the Lord is making these things happen. So another precept you need to look into. I'll go with let me go with the book of Job. Job chapter 33. Alright, 14 to 17. Alright, it says, for the Most High speaketh once, yet twice, yet man perceiveth not. Alright, so the word of the Lord is always going to be established clearly. Where our people and people around the world are not paying attention, they won't understand what's going on. Only the elect to understand what's going on. Alright, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon man, in slumberings upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction. Alright, so the Lord operates, man. You know, he gives visions to people to see what's going to happen in the future. You know, basically letting them know that this is what's coming in the future, and hey, the word gets out. Alright, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. So that's how the Lord shows his power. Alright? By proving to the people that whatever he says happens, declaring the end from the beginning. Alright? Alright, so that's how we understand that the word of the Lord is true. Everything that is said shall come to pass. Alright? So, let's see. Pull up another precept. It's going to be from the book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 64. If you read verse 5 and verse 6, it says, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Alright? So the plans of the super elite, to push their agenda for the Great Reset, it's just not, something to just take lightly. They mean a lot of destruction. It says that they encourage themselves in an evil matter. So whatever plan they're up to is nothing but evil for the children of Israel, for our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Alright, so these elites, man, they're bringing so much pain upon the lives of the people. Alright, and it says the commune of laying snares privily, traps. What they do with their plans in passing legislation in the middle of the night, making all types of phone calls to interfere with the lives of the elect, making life unbearable, and then they say, who shall see them? Yeah, so they brag about their accomplishments. That's why they keep having all these conferences at Aspen. You have the G8 summit, G20. You also have all those World Economic Forum, all those jargons, that they always like to think they are part of, and their think tanks also, So it says, they search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thoughts of every one of them, and the heart is deep. So they always plan on how to make people's lives, miserable. They want people to be slaves forever. When you read Psalms chapter 49 verse 11, it shows you that they're desperate. They're desperate for power. They want to get that crowning achievement. It says their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. So they're looking for, their descendants, that their so-called proteges, to carry on the legacy of domination. It's Edomites, man. They want to plan, and bring in their agenda in phases. So at the end of the day, when the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua will be able to upset their prophecy, their plans. Okay, so Psalm 73 is a good one to also read. Yeah, so like here, just taking my time, don't want to rush this. So Psalm 73, read verse 17 to 19. It says, until I went unto the sanctuary of the Most High, then understood I their end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places, thou casted them down in destruction. So they're gonna fall very soon, man. The scripture talks about when this super elite are about to fill their belly, then the Most High shall rain down snares upon them, destruction and desolation. Alright, then 19 says, how are they brought into desolation, as in a moment. Alright, 1 hour. they are utterly consumed with terror. So when the Lord shows up, that's it for them, man. All the bunkers they've gone to hide themselves in will not be able to contain their how you say, their anxiety. You know, when they see that the Lord is about to lay hands on them. You know, so just to wrap this up some more, it's just beautiful, man, to see that this chaos is coming, and you have to pray to the Lord. You know, strengthens your faith, that you don't fall a victim, you know, to the flesh, because these super elites, man, they always want to attack the flesh of the people. And when people spend too much time in the flesh, they become weak, and they're easily manipulated. Alright, that's why folks are just bugged out. So Revelation chapter 6 verses 15 to 17, it says this. You know, in fact, this is what I gotta read, verse 14. Alright, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. Alright, so that's a good sign. You know, the nuclear destruction, you know, World War III, it has to happen. Even like the Zaquan Kusaf DC Camp talked about when the scroll is rolled together, meaning that's the end of a reading. You know, that's the end of that part. So the end of the greatness and the pompous lifestyle is over. You know, now they gotta get ready for captivity. And every mountain and island were moved out of their places. So the destruction that's going to come upon the earth as a result of the bombardments with the nuclear missiles going back and forth is going to be chaotic. Alright, and then the Lord shows up too in the midst of this chaos going on. It says this in verse 15, and the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bond man and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. Yep. So these are the so-called super rich that were able to go hide themselves in the underground bunkers, man. You know, according to the power of the Lord, they got to go hide, you know, so that they could survive the so-called nuclear apocalypse. Okay, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. Yes, when the Lord Yahushua shows up, and they see him giving orders to his angels to tear Esau's civilization apart, you know, then they're going to understand that they're in deep trouble. Alright, so verse 17 says, for the great day of his wrath has come, and who shall be able to stand? No, that's why we have to pray the Lord the Lord deliver us, man. You know, we're looking forward to this deliverance. So that's the point that I can, you know, these elites, they know that prophecy is being fulfilled. You know, prophecy is being fulfilled. So there is no way around it. This is the will of the Lord, and these world leaders know it. That's why Psalms 83, you know, it's you know, it comes into mind. You know, Psalms 83. It's a good it's a good read. It reminds you of what you have to deal with. So that's the point that I can Baratazah the Lord Hamashakim Shai Bashim Kadesh. We continue to sharpen your mind to understand prophecy, because that's our bread and butter. Shalom.